adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
You're the best thing in my life, the reason I'm still me. You're the best.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest across the pond, who not only are great artists, but one of them's a friend of mine, and the guy in the purple's not.
Thanks.
So let's welcome to the show, Remember Serenity.
Hi.
Thanks for
I
having
don't
us.
know if I remember Serenity, by the way, because I just came from Louder Than Life.
Yeah, not quite the same thing, but
We frequently get misnamed on things, and I think Remember Sobriety has been my favourite.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Maybe you should form another band and call it Remember Sobriety, and then
Friday nights.
and then maybe they'll think your name is Remember Serenity.
Maybe, yeah.
Amazing.
I don't remember Sobriety either,
No,
but
yeah,
that's
not
okay.
right now.
Now, actually, I do. I know Wayne doesn't, and I can't believe I forgot to put my signature for your. See, I fucked up for my. That's my signature right there.
There you go. I mean, that's
The other
the autumn backdrop as well.
Yeah, there you go. See, I was so busy making the backdrop that I forgot that I had to put on the sunglasses, because I do all my interviews in sunglasses, and with the sunglasses, it's hard to read anything. So you know that I'm not using a script or notes or anything.
Fair,
You know.
fair.
I've got the wrong glasses on to be able to read anything, so.
Well, the funny thing is I have LASIK and I have monovision, but now I had a sty last year and it's affected my reading vision sometimes.
Really? That's really
It's not even all the time. Sometimes I can read out without the reading glasses. Other times I need them. It's weird.
Mm.
But, you know, it must be, I think it's your music. It's so good that it just blurred my vision.
Maybe it could be that. Kind of the sleep in your eyes, possibly.
Exactly. It makes me very serene.
Yeah.
It is usually when I can't see, too. That's why I'm never serene. But in all seriousness, man, your music is badass.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So how did this partnership come about?
We've been friends for 30 years.
I'm so sorry for you.
We actually initially met because a mutual friend of ours knew that Wayne was looking for a singer for, band way back. And I thought it was a chat up line and told him I wasn't interested. So didn't sing for him 30 years ago. And it took, 27 years or something to finally.
Nice.
Yeah.
But no, like I say here, so obviously we have got a bond, obviously, from 30-year friendship. So it's very easy to do this. Like when sometimes you're in bands and there's very much difference of opinion, but this between the bassist and the singer or the guitarist and drummer or whatever. But with this,
just the two of us makes it easier. I think, as well,
and the fact that we're very, very like-minded, so it kind of works well. So I mean, with Teva, for example, there's a song called Teva, which we'd entered a songwriting competition, and we were given this one line, and I was then heading to America. I think it was one of the times I went to see Laurie, but I was heading to America, so I was sitting at the airport, and I thought, right, when I get back, we've literally got 4 or 5 days to have this song ready for this competition, so probably should start doing something. So I was sitting at the airport lounge, and I quickly wrote some lyrics and sort of sent it to Den. Then got on the plane, blah blah blah. When I landed in New Orleans, then it sent me a message which basically had the second verse and the rest of the chorus. So we kind of wrote the song in two different countries, both in England, sort of thing. But then when we got back, literally I just picked up the guitar and something comes straight out, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was really that song was just like
the fastest we've done. I think
it was. it just comes together really well. But that was again, the lyrics are about our friendship. So
Yeah.
I mean, we were given the line, two birds of a feather. And obviously you're given that line, you've been best friends for 30 years. It's pretty, the lyrics come quite simply, you know, because you just got that one line in it and it's kind of worked. So it was something that we could relate to. And as I say, that kind of inspired us to write quicker, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely been more prolific since then.
Yeah, up to that point, we were very slow with writing new songs, but now we're, kind of knocking them out quite quickly. So
I love it. And I, at first when you were saying you met, I thought she was going to say you guys met on Shiprock. And I was going to say, I'm going to tell Lori that this is a pattern. No, but
no. Shiprock back then. I was on Shiprock in 23. So
nice.
With Wayne, we were already friends, obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it is always better to be friends if you're going to be in a music project, because otherwise it could be hell. Like I see bands that you can tell they don't like each other. Yeah. And it's like, wow, that would really suck because you can't escape them. It's not like a job where you can go home. You're stuck with this person like all the time.
Yeah, I think the family ones, I think, are probably the worst for that, actually, when you get this sort of sibling rivalry and that kind of thing. I think that can,
are you talking about Oasis?
Oh, they are on the list, obviously, but yeah, I mean, even ABBA, they all fell out. They were all married, and Heart have recently fallen out as well, haven't they? So,
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Let's say when Den, because Den's actually the second singer of Remember Serenity, and when I was looking for a new singer, my girlfriend at the time, she sort of said, "What about Den?" And I was like, "Not sure." Because obviously me and Den have been such good friends for so long, and then when you add that element of being in a band together, you get the different disagreements, and I thought, we don't want to affect our friendship sort of thing. So we sort of said from the off, if we start arguing about band stuff, then
friendship comes first.
Friendships first. But
that's a good rule.
3.5 years in or whatever since you joined, and we're still good. We only fall out as much as we normally do, don't we? So
I don't think we've ever actually had a rail.
No.
Maybe
nice.
We'll have one on a live stream later.
Well, and it's funny because you were saying before about like having two people in the band can either be really good in that scenario or really bad. Like, because at least if you have like 4 or 5 people in the band, there's buffers, there's people that like, there's more of a, I would say, can be more of a democracy. But when you have 2 people, it's like, it's either a hard yes or a hard no.
Yeah. Weirdly with that though, obviously when I first joined, it was Wayne's band. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be sort of the permanent singer or if it was just a stepping stone until Wayne found somebody else. And I'm not sure if that's not true or not, actually. But it's still very much, if there is anything that a decision kind of needs to be made, I still refer to Wayne, really. I still sort of see him as his band. He's the one, he's the boss.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it as well is like my obviously extra experience of being in bands. Obviously, I've been doing bands since I was 15, whereas obviously this is really your first band, I suppose, isn't it? Apart from Gecko, that wasn't. Does that really count though?
You can remember the name. That's impressive. Well, yeah. I mean, apart from stuff I did when I was younger, but actual proper band stuff. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we generally agree on most things. Like music, very good. Musically, we've got very similar music tastes, like quite varied as well, which is obviously helpful because if you get someone I like folk and someone who I like metal, you kind of gonna have clashes. But we both like both of those genres. Yeah. So
right,
what we do kind of works. It's like folk with a tinge of rock, I guess, is what we're actually doing, or rock with a tinge of folk, whichever way you look at it, one or the other.
Yeah, and she's got to be an angel because you're very picky. So, like, she's got to be an angel to put up with your tastes.
Yeah,
but
I am quite picky musically. So is she.
See, that's where you guys work together because that is a commonality that brings you together. Because if you have one person that really isn't picky, doesn't care, and somebody that does, I think that's a clash. big time.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
our music tastes are very. I mean, we're actually genuinely friends because of music. We initially met very briefly. Sort of like because he was looking for a singer, and then we met again at a nightclub, and we were both in a foul mood. Don't remember why, but we were both in a foul mood. We got chatting because we were the only two people sort of sitting away from everybody else. And Wayne was talking about tattoos, and I was saying, as soon as I turn 18, I want to get my first tattoo. And he said, what do you want to get? And I went, I want to get my favorite band logo. And he went, oh, who are they? And I went, nobody's ever heard of them. Nobody knows them. Nobody knows them. And then eventually I said, oh, it's a band called Queensryche. And he literally lifted up his sleeve to the only tattoo he had back then. And it was a Queensryche tattoo.
Wow.
I have still only got one tattoo. It's kind of like a big work in progress.
So. Wow. And so then nobody really knew in the UK, because the minute Queensryche came out, we all knew about it, but we thought it was Iron Maiden. No, we thought it was Iron Maiden at first when it came out. We're like, oh, that's some new Iron Maiden, and then we're like, oh no, it's not, because it did. The first album did sound a lot like Bruce.
Yeah,
the earlier stuff,
the higher stuff that you did,
Empire, Promised Land, going in. Well, to be fair, some are actually they're my favorite albums.
Right.
So.
See, I was introduced to it when Queen of the Reich came out, and that song sounded like Maiden.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that EP is very, very Maiden.
Yeah, I've never thought of that before, but you're quite right.
But that is kind of wild, because how often in the world are you going to find somebody else with the same band tattoo on? Especially a band like Queensryche. I don't think a lot of people have that tattoo. Like, I could see if it was Maiden, Priest, but to me, that shows your connection right from the get-go.
Yeah. Actually, when I find, because you're not allowed to get tattooed here until you're 18. You're not allowed to be in nightclubs either, but my mum wasn't as good like that. And so when I finally turned 18, which would have been probably about 6 months after that, I think, something like that. It was actually Wayne's parents that bought me my Queensryche tattoo as my 18th birthday present.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's not in a place I can show you, so I'm not.
Oh, come on now.
It's not my shoulder blade, so it's not really a bit difficult to get to.
Now you guys both get a tattoo that says "Remember Serenity."
Maybe the tree.
The tree, yeah. I don't have writing on me, so it'd have to be the tree.
The tree would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool. So
as well.
Obviously, you both have interest in folk. You both have interest in metal. What makes you pick folk as the one that you focus on for your music?
It's obviously just. I mean, the main when I first started Remember Serenity back in 2019, I was really, really into a band called the Civil Wars. I imagine you've heard of them. I heard Civil Wars, and I was just blown away by just how stripped back it was. It was just one guitar, a male and a female vocal, lovely harmonies. And I thought, I want to do something like that. I absolutely want to do that. But I kind of wanted to do it with obviously my rock influences as part of it. So when I first formed the band, when I first did it, and I had my original singer, it was originally a working title for it was Civil Coil, because it was kind of a cross between Civil Wars and Lacuna Coil.
There you go.
That was kind of the plan. It doesn't really sound anything like Lacuna Coil now, but initially that was kind of the idea. To me, it doesn't really sound that much like the Civil Wars, apart from harmonies, sort of thing, and obviously not as good harmonies as Civil Wars. So, but that was the kind of the premise of it. So it was more a case of doing something really stripped back, and that kind of leads it more towards the folk side than the rock side. So, but you can definitely hear the rock influences in the some of the guitar playing, sort of thing. Because
there's a couple of songs that are
the newer ones as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell, but it is. I think the name you have is perfect, because I think the music, the harmonies really does create serenity, which is something I think the whole world needs right now.
Thanks. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
that's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, because I have this idea too of how to solve all the world's problems. You guys could play at it too.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, it's a music festival that the whole world is required to attend.
That'd be good.
because, listen, music is the great unifier. It's also the best therapy there is. And I think instead of all the other stuff that's going on, we could just work it all out at a music festival. Because when you go to a music festival, generally nobody's an outsider and nobody's fighting. We're all just loving each other from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And see that, I think that's what your music also represents. Like, I think it represents something that could unify us together and create the serenity that this world needs.
We're like wild stallions, basically.
I was exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say exactly.
Exactly. If only you had a good photographer that you knew that. So tell us about this new music compared to what was the evolution to get to this new EP?
Right. Okay, that's a good one. We basically we obviously when we first started recording and the idea of recording, we had 7 songs, I think, and then I had the idea of we keep trying to record ourselves at home, and then it was a case of every time we would get to a certain stage, we'd then stop, or something would distract us, or so we never really finished it. Then we met this guy who had his studio in his garden. He was 16 at the time.
Yeah, he's just turned 17.
So the guy who produced all 4 of our EPs is
a 16-year-old produced it.
Just turned 17. Yeah,
that's amazing.
He did
I
all
love
4 of our EPs. It's Tetro Studios in Rayleigh in England, but Moss is an absolute legend. So we kind of heard that he had a studio. So I asked him, "Can you send us a recording of something you've done that's similar sort of stuff to us?" And I heard it and I thought, do you know what, that's better than I'm going to do in the next year if I get round to it, So I thought, do you know, how much for a couple of days in the studio? And he gave us such a good price. We're like, no brainer, we'll do that. If it comes out rubbish, then we haven't lost a lot of money.
Right.
But it came out the first EP, Winter. We really were just like, this is great, So we obviously booked him for spring, then summer, then autumn.
Yeah.
And but so the writing process, which was the question one. So what is the writing process?
When, like I said, when I joined, obviously being the second singer, Wayne already had a few songs sort of finished, basically. So I listened to the other singer singing, and I just kind of copied what was there. And then as we wrote new songs, they became sort of very much our songs. And then as I became more comfortable as being part of the band, I actually started writing some lyrics as well. So it's become it was very much just Wayne doing it all. And now it's become much more, we sort of do it all together.
Yeah.
And I think both of us have definitely improved with sort of songwriting and that kind of thing as we've got a little bit more comfortable with it and
definitely.
And that kind of thing. So
it's definitely better to do it together, I think, too, because everybody has something to add to it. And bring something to the table that maybe you don't think of, and or just that different viewpoint, because there's so many viewpoints in the world. I think the more viewpoints you have of the music you create, the more likely you're gonna have a bigger tribe following you.
Yeah. The viewpoint is quite interesting, actually. I mean, especially on a song called Circles that Wayne wrote, and it's a song about friendship, and he wrote it about like your little circle of friends and how blessed he feels or whatever to have these few people he can absolutely rely on, and how great these half a dozen people are. I read it and I sing it as, how awful is it that you can only rely on a few people and everyone else
right.
So I'm the negative one, and it just absolutely, I see that as completely the other way around to how Wayne actually wrote that.
And see, I thought Circle would be about mosh pits.
Well, to be fair, when we actually start getting like some people who nearer to the front when we're playing, we should probably say we want to see a circle pit for this next one.
Right?
To have a circle pit at one of our gigs would be absolutely incredible.
You know what though? I was just doing a festival, Bourbon and Beyond, and Fish was playing.
Yeah.
And I saw the kind of circle pit you guys could have, because I was sitting there. And in the beginning, I was like telling my friends, I'm like, oh, I want to start a mosh pit. And they're like, oh, no, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, couple hours in, when people were peaking on whatever they were peaking on, it looked like a mosh pit where nobody touched each other.
Yeah.
It really did. Like, I was like observing these people. I'm like, and then while you're talking, I'm thinking that would be the perfect mosh pit for your live show.
Mhm.
It's like you take the deadhead, fish head type of dancing and no touching, and there's your pit, and it's very serene, because it was like, it's like slow motion mosh pit.
And most people that come to see us probably can only do the slow motion version.
Yeah, that's
as well.
yeah.
Right. So see, there you go. It's perfect. And so how do people get this album EP? How do they check you guys out? How do they art? Where do they connect to you? Where do we create this circle of your now musical friends?
If you just go to Linktree, remember Serenity is obviously the best place, because all the links to everywhere where we're on is on there. So there's obviously a link to our YouTube channel, a link to our Spotify, our Facebook, Instagram,
Twitch,
which we're going on live now, Twitch once a week, or at least that's the plan. There's also a link to our shop.
Yes, yeah.
Our Bandcamp shop
Different
on there, so you can buy the CDs on there, because we stuck with the original idea of doing classic CDs for people to tell us all the time, I haven't actually got a CD player. Yeah, okay, but yeah,
it's all on Spotify and everything. So
yeah,
yeah, but they have to buy the CD if they want to listen to my show anymore, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the CD's always better. Obviously, we sell a CD, and we actually obviously it costs money to produce the CDs, to record the CDs, to actually get the CDs done.
Yeah, totally.
And obviously, we've worked out if we actually sell all the CDs we buy, we might just break even. But obviously, you're never going to sell all the CDs you buy. You give away the odd few here and there.
I was going to say, if you sell all the CDs, next time in the US, you could buy a couple tacos at Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, if someone goes on and streams all 55 minutes of our 4 EPs on Spotify, we get about 7 pence, which is about 10 cents. So it's Spotify, and that's if they don't find a reason to say, oh, that stream there, that one doesn't count because it was at 3:47 in the afternoon.
Right.
So, but like I say, I mean, really, we never started doing this to to become millionaires, famous to all the world. I mean, that'd be nice, but we're like old. We're old and like, so on the downward part of the hill now. But like I said, we do it because we love doing it. We do it because we like telling the stories that we're telling. Obviously, all of our songs have got some relevance. So we don't write a song that's just there's some words that are catchy, Sweet Caroline, blah blah blah, kind of rubbish.
It's his favourite song.
Sweet Caroline. Bum bum bum.
But all our songs have got a story to tell. That was very much inspired by Bad Flower when I saw them on Shiprocks in 2019. I think literally just saw them, and it was just like there's a couple of their songs were amazing, and then I saw them live and they were incredible. So I went back and revisited their first album and like reading the lyrics, and then lyrics then become really important because they're really such strong lyrics. Josh Katz writes.
I love Josh. He's the coolest dude. But like what I love too is one of the festivals they played. He had laryngitis.
Yeah.
So he just had the crowd sing all the songs.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the coolest show. And it was a ballsy move because you're going to get hate sometimes.
Yeah.
But man, I thought it was the coolest once in a lifetime show ever.
To be fair, to do that rather than just cancel, that's
some of the stupid excuses I've heard for bands cancelling.
Yeah, no doubt. To me, that's a professional. The show must go on.
A Bad Flower fan is going to prefer to see that than I remember I saw Sepultura actually once. This was literally just after they sacked Max, because I saw him with Max at Brixton, which is the last gig he did with them, and then they sacked him, and then they were playing at Donington, which wasn't before it was Download, and literally they still played, even though they just sacked their singer. But they had like Evan and Billy from Biohazard, and I think Jonathan Davis did a song with them, and they just had other people who were on the bill. I think Burton C. Bell did a song, and it was just like Sepultura with guest singers, and it was just, that was amazing. It was so good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and as I say, I imagine that being a gig. I mean, Josh is there playing the guitar, so it's not like he wasn't there,
Right.
So he was there, and it was just I imagine that was a special gig.
It was. And then like right after COVID, my third show I had to cover, since you mentioned Jonathan Davis, was Korn. And Jonathan Davis had COVID.
All right.
And sat in a throne like Ozzy did, and imagine him just sitting down. But he and he performed with COVID sitting in a throne.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like that's dedication right there. You know?
They are one of the bands that I have missed thanks to a terrible excuse though. So they were meant to be doing Ozfest, and one of them was expecting a baby. Obviously, wife was expecting a baby. So they cancelled, and she was like 5 months pregnant or something. She wasn't nearly about to give birth, but and Foo Fighters covered it. Just
that's weird. Like you're not even ready to give birth, and that was the excuse.
Yeah, that was the reason we were told.
Wow, that's a trip. So how come, or what made you decide to do the Four Seasons, and more importantly, I mean, maybe it's because you have all 4 seasons in 1 hour. That's why that is. But more importantly, why did you start with winter? Was that Den's idea because she's the negative one? So let's start with the negative season.
No, that was just the time of year that it started.
The first EP came out in December, so we released one each. We had the songs, and then someone had the idea. Someone suggested, I can't remember who it was, but someone, it might be Laurie actually.
I don't remember who's done. I thought it was your idea.
No,
it's Laurie's fault then.
It might be Laurie.
Don't ever do it. Anyone out there, don't do it.
She said, whoever it was who said, why don't you you got all these songs, and we sort of said we want some sort of concept, and I don't know where the idea came from of having the seasons, and then we thought, actually, why don't we just do one? We'll release one now. We'll release one in 3 months, and we'll release the 4 seasons EPs over 9 months. So basically have a year to release the 4 EPs, which was a great idea. And obviously then we showed the I asked a friend of mine about the artwork, and she just knocked that up for us. And it was the concept was there, it was born. And then it was like, at the time we had 7 songs, and there's 16 songs on the EPs. So once we got to about sort of summer, we were like, shit, we're running out.
To write some stuff.
We're running out of songs now. So we had to quickly squeeze some more songs out, but no, so that was the idea. So,
well, the good news is in the UK, all 4 of those EPs would be appropriate any month of the year there.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It was summer yesterday. It's winter today. So
right, exactly. I'm surprised it took till today to become winter.
I was thinking of getting a couple of special edition autumns done with fall on them instead.
Yeah, you could do like a special vinyl that is made with leaves.
No, that could be good.
That's cool.
Yeah, someone asked me about vinyl the other day. I said, "Are you going to get vinyl done?" Because I collect vinyl. I was like, we kind of, you have to get like 100 vinyls done, and it costs like well over £1,000 to get like 100 vinyls done. So are we going to get spend over £1,000
just for one person?
For one person, yeah. Not
well. How about? I want you to put it out on 8-track.
Yeah. Mini disc.
I love the mini disc.
Mini disc was a great system.
Yeah.
I loved 8-tracks because, it would interrupt the song in the middle of tracks. And, if you didn't have a matchbook, it would play in slow motion. It was really good. It was great quality. I think I'm going to turn my radio station into like an 8-track radio station.
Nice. Yeah, Dan's got an 8-track, and I remember he was using it. I was just like, why are you using this? And he's just retro. He just loved it because it was just retro. So he just used it. So
yeah, I wish I kept my 8-tracks because it would be kind of cool and funny, because I had Blizzard of Oz on 8-track when it first came out.
So.
Mr. Crowley would fade out and during the end of the second track and fade back in the third track.
Nice. Amazing.
So, what else do you want to tell the listeners about you guys, about your music that they need to know?
Well, we've got some ideas for our next EP, but it's a secret. So, but we plan on releasing that hopefully by about April, May next year. Obviously, we've got the 4 EPs, so there's plenty of music to get your teeth into. We are recording 2 more songs in December. Serendipity, which was the 17th song that didn't make it onto the EPs. Basically, on Autumn, there's a song Counting the Days that's also about Laurie. Serendipity is about how I met Laurie. So it was a case of we wanted different subject matters on there, so only one of them kind of made it onto the EP. And Counting the Days we felt was the strongest song, wasn't it? So that's why we did that. That's why that one made it on there. But we're recording that in December. We'll do a video for that and whack it on our YouTube. Obviously, whack it on Spotify. It's going to be a non-CD version song though.
So you're going to do like April and May. So you should name the album "Forget Winter, It's Spring."
Yeah. That's it. We're just skipping over all winter now because
right. Exactly. Well, you know what you should do, and she'll probably be watching or listening to this when it comes out. I think you guys should sing live on the interview the song about Laurie.
Which one?
Or at least part of it. At least part of it.
Which one do you want to
do? Which one?
Counting the Days probably is.
Counting the Days is off the new EP, so probably in June.
Yeah, that might need some tuning. It sounded like.
Laying bad thoughts in my head, and my chance of sleeping, wide awake until daybreak. Inside my heart is bleeding. Long to dream, but I want to scream. Night so long and so lonely. Counting the days till I see you again. I miss you, my one and only. I just want to hold you. I just need to feel your skin. I'm not home without you. I want to be with you all the time. Through the day my mind is away, thinking of places that we've been, remembering times that were truly sublime, it's fabulous sights that we've seen. Yet in today we're so far away, yearning I feel overwhelms me. Thoughts in my mind that sever a bind, leaving to my heart's bleed. I just want to hold you. I just need to feel your skin. I'm not home without you. I want to be with you all the time. There's 2 chapters I'm written to pen as that story unfolds. Pages to turn of that tale that is still yet to be told. In time we will see what our futures will hold. Until then, I wait, I long, I ache. I just want to hold you. I just need to feel your skin. I'm not home without you. I want to be yours for all time.
Nice. That was really, really good. I don't care what Lori says.
So yeah, so that is a
She's
song
been
on the
quite
new
an
EP.
inspiration to you, hasn't she?
Absolutely. I mean, when I met Laurie, I mean, we at the time we had 7 songs, 6 of which were really miserable, and 1 which was happy. And then it was just a case of like since then now we've got kind of 50-50 happy, sad sort of balance now. So we can start writing miserable songs again now because obviously it kind of suits the mood of the music a bit more if they're miserable.
Even I wrote a happy one, didn't
Yeah. So yeah. But obviously that one's a bit sad. I mean, the other 2, there's 3 songs about Laurie. Two of which, that one's on the new EP, and the song Oceans is on Spring.
Video comes out next week.
The video does come out on the 2nd of October on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. I'm not sure when this is going live, but yeah. So if this is on air before the 2nd of October, check out our YouTube channel on the 2nd of October for the new song.
Nice. Well, you guys rock. You're badass.
Thank you very much.
Despite Wayne's in the band, but but we do love you, and everybody else needs to love you too, or they can't listen to my show anymore.
Nice one.
I love it.
And we're looking forward to playing your World Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
We're happy to open that as well. I mean, if we just open it and then we can go to the backstage bar and
you can get drunk.
Yeah.
There it is. Well, spoken like true English people right there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys rock, and everybody definitely has to get all of the EPs and check you out. You're super talented, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.